This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the court is back in session. Dunedin's refurbished historic courthouse reopens, but not all the work is complete. Drought and disease piles more stress on dairy farmers. We find out what support's being offered them in the south. And what's being done in Fiordland to help preserve one of New Zealand's endangered native birds. Good evening, I'm Callum Proctor. The Dunedin Law Courts reopened today after a $20 million refurbishment. But as Roselle LeBone found out, the building is still not quite finished.
The Dunedin Courthouse reopened this morning 6 years after it was closed in 2011 due to earthquake risks. At the press conference today, it was confirmed not all work has yet been completed. Paving of the garden is yet to be completed by contractors AVL Construction. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern got a bagpipe welcome as she arrived to officially open the newly renovated courthouse. The building was originally opened in 1902. Ardern thanked the legal fraternity and the media for joining the fight to save the building.
And I'm sure it made a difference. Alongside the legal fraternity here, a group of lawyers who are vehement about the need to return this building, I acknowledge your advocacy and the difference that it made.
With Southern MP Claire Curran, she also sealed off a time capsule with contents including a miniature flag and a bottle of Ardern's birthday whisky, a gift from partner Clark Gayford, to be buried at the courthouse and opened in 50 years' time. Ardern discussed completing work the previous government began.
Absolutely acknowledge that. I remember many an occasion at Select Committee badgering the Minister about this building. Then I had both the role of heritage and also justice, and I saw both the merits of needing to restore this building but also the strength of feeling in the community.
Health Minister David Clark confirmed today that the government was still on track to break ground at the Dunedin Hospital by 2020.
There are sites being worked on right now. Pete Hodson locally is leading that team. He would be the person to talk to about this stage of progress, but he's indicated to me that he hopes to have a site of preference notified publicly by the end of March.
Even I think the fact that that appointment has been made shows our determination to get on with things as well.
Ardern stayed mum on her baby's gender, but addressed the TPP, Donald Trump, and one British tabloid's suggestion she couldn't juggle motherhood and the top job.
Yeah, well, I'm just pregnant, not incapacitated.
A procession of legal professionals made their way through town to the courthouse before a special sitting of the High Court this afternoon. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Police have now released the name of both victims of Monday's house fire in South Dunedin. Yesterday, police named one of the deceased as 35-year-old Anastasia Margaret Neve of Dunedin. Police have now confirmed the other victim is 49-year-old David Ian Clark. The fire occurred in the back flat of the Wesley Street property early on Monday morning. An elderly man living in the front flat was rescued by a neighbour. Southern District Police Investigations Manager, Detective Inspector Steve Wood, says the investigation involved several different versions of events and a fair bit of rumour and speculation. Well, Dairy New Zealand and the Southland Rural Support are calling for farmers to reach out for help as tough conditions persist in Southland. With the region on the verge of a drought and the cow disease Mycoplasma bovis spreading, farmers are being encouraged to look out for each other. Sharon Rees has more.
Southland farmers heard the region was bordering on a drought declaration yesterday at a meeting in Otautau, adding to what has been a difficult few months. With a heat wave leaving unproductive soil and water shortages, as well as the ongoing fear of Mycoplasma bovis spreading, Dairy NZ are encouraging farmers to reach out to the community.
It's about the whole community, about thinking about everybody within the community, and M. bovis is certainly an area that's put a bit of pressure on that, because people try to take care of their own businesses, but the reality is the biggest spread's animal to animal, so actually catching up with that person and saying how you're going and is there anything we can do to help is really, really, really important.
He said many farmers tend to isolate themselves during such times, and said it was up to family and friends to keep an eye on each other.
It's when you haven't seen your neighbour for a while, or your friends not answering calls like they should. Those are the sort of the things people need to be aware of, and drop in and make a call. And if they're not answering the phone, drop in and see them and catch up with them.
Southland Rural Support Trust Chairman John Kennedy, who spoke at the drought support meeting yesterday, said it wasn't just the farmers impacted by the conditions.
The pressures that the farmer is under rubs off very, very easily on your family and on your kids and also on the staff. So it's crucial to get off the farm and take a break.
Kennedy said if the government declare a medium-scale adverse event, otherwise known as a drought declaration, rural support would be given more funding to support farmers and to host more community events. For more information about the support available, visit rural-support.org.nz, call 0800 Rural Help or visit dairynz.co.nz. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
The Cook will once again be a live music venue in Dunedin. Former Chicks Hotel operator Mike McLeod has taken over the running of the 150-year-old bar and venue. It'll still be owned, though, by the same group of investors who bought the bar after it closed in 2013. McLeod says there's a lack of live music venues in Dunedin, and he hopes the Cook can return to being more of a musical and cultural hub for the city, as it was in the 80s. Proprietor of music venue Dog with Two Tails, Chris Wilson, says it's exactly what Dunedin needs right now. He says young musicians need venues to play in to develop their craft. There's hope New Zealand's endangered native bird, the kakapo, could return to its original breeding sites on Cooper Island in Fiordland's Dusky Sound. The 18 square kilometre island is being cleared of predators as part of the Cooper Island Restoration Project. Mina Amso reports.
Real Journeys nature guide and trap checker Richard Parkinson gets off the dinghy to Cooper Island and checks an array of traps set for stoats and rats.
Oh, we're just replacing the bait, which is eggs and a bit of meat, and if there's any stoats or rats in there, we'll clear those out as well.
The project began in May last year, involved installing almost 200 stoat traps across the coastal part of the island. They have caught 24 stoats and 29 rats so far. The Department of Conservation's Te Anau Biodiversity Ranger, Lindsay Wilson, says Cooper Island is significant. It's the only island in Dusky Sound known to have had kakapo breeding on it, and still has rimu fruit the kakapo would have depended on.
These islands can become like lifeboats for some of these really rare and threatened species that we can then hopefully get back onto the mainland later on. So yeah, it's I think, in terms of the whole predator-free New Zealand concept, it's a really important place as a stepping stone, going from small islands to big islands, peninsulas, mainland.
We spend a lot of the months each year down here, and we deal a lot with the history and a lot with the wildlife, so to be involved with that grassroots level of trying to bring some of these rare birds back, it's really special.
The project is a partnership between the Department of Conservation and Southern tourism operator Real Journeys. Real Journeys Chief Executive Richard Lauder says it will take at least 4 years to get predators under control, a $500,000 commitment on Real Journeys' part.
We'd love to see kakapo back here, and that takes a bit of effort, and we think we can achieve it, and that's what we're setting out to do.
The Department of Conservation has identified the best route for the next 200 traps on the inland part of the island, and 1,000 rat traps will be put in place across the whole island over the next 2 years. Mina Amso, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, we look at the controversy surrounding the euthanasia of dogs in Invercargill and what caused the death of 180 salmon at a Dunedin hatchery.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
They're part of the family, and like us, their health begins with what they eat too. So give them Radical Dog, made in New Zealand from all natural ingredients and real tart cherries, so it's high in antioxidants. It's a 3-in-1 superfood, giving them energy, flexibility and a healthy coat. With no fillers or nasty preservatives, they love them. It's the treat that can work wonders on every dog, no matter what their breed, age or health. Radical Dog, the new generation in dog food.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
University of Otago. Usually the atmosphere is charged with the energy of student life. But this week is the week before exams.
Hey, Tane. Not now, man. I'm panicking.
Come on, mate. I know just what you need.
In here?
No. Is this it?
No. This is the place to ease your stress.
Hey, Tane. Fancy a little cuddle?
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Otago Superheroes, the 2018 Relay for Life needs your team. On March 17 and 18, the relay teams will join together to create one of the most inspiring events, helping not only to raise funds but also to remember those who have fallen to cancer or are struggling with it. To register your team, simply go to the website and sign on, then start fundraising. It's about celebrating, remembering and fighting back. Be a superhero and register now at relayforlife.org.nz.
Welcome back. The Dunedin Community Salmon Hatchery in Sawyers Bay has been struck by vandals again, this time resulting in the death of around 180 salmon. The South Today found out more.
Following about a year of minor vandalism,
Sawyers Bay's volunteer-run salmon hatchery had its worst attack by vandals last weekend. This here is the last of about 180 dead salmon following the attack. Dunedin Community Salmon Trust Chairman Steve Bennett says the intruders must have climbed a barbed wire fence and then starved the fish of oxygen.
We've narrowed it down to Sunday night, I think it was. Somebody came in and in this tank behind me here, they turned off the aerator. You'll see there's bubbles around the edge of the tank, and that keeps oxygen in the water that keeps the fish alive.
The Salmon Trust is a not-for-profit organisation that releases salmon into Otago Harbour for keen fishermen to catch. The fish killed over the weekend were 3-year-old adults intended to provide eggs for next year's release.
They were our brood stock, so they were 3-year-old fish that we were going to use to strip the eggs off, and the eggs would then create our next year's batch of smolt that we rear for release.
The Trust's volunteers are dismayed at the harm that the vandals have caused.
We have the police involved now, so the police are going to be looking into it for us. Ultimately, we just want the damage to stop. I mean, we're a not-for-profit organisation that does this out of the kindness of our hearts, if you like. And there's actually no benefit from anyone, for anyone, from people killing all these fish. It's a mindless act of stupidity, and we just want it to stop.
The public are being asked to report any suspicious behaviour they see around the Sawyers Bay hatchery, especially after hours and late at night. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
The Invercargill public can finally have a say about how dogs should be euthanised or rehomed in the city. A community advisory panel was formed to work on the issue after a video was released last year showing a dog being euthanised by a captive bolt gun in Invercargill, causing a huge public outcry. Sharon Rees has more.
A handful of people had their say to members of the advisory panel at the Invercargill Dog Park on Wednesday night. The panel are giving the public a chance to ask questions and offer suggestions about the fate of unwanted dogs in the city. The Invercargill City Council made headlines last year after footage of a dog being killed by a captive bolt gun at the City Pound went viral. Since then, the panel have been working to learn the best methods and are asking the public to have their say.
They've made a visit to the SPCA, they've made a visit to the animal care facility that the council runs. We've had different groups come and talk to us about how they rehome dogs. We've spoken to one other council so far, and we've got a meeting with another council to learn about how they do their process for euthanasia and rehoming as well.
Councillors selected 6 members of the community for the panel who they believed could approach the topic objectively.
We've got people who have got experiences or a keen interest in animals or dogs, and then we've just got people who were interested in being in the panel, not necessarily dog owners or people who have a vested interest, I guess, in the animal area.
The panel have put out a survey to gauge the public's opinion on the topic, which received over 300 replies within 2 days. Amundsen said the panel will host informal drop-in sessions at various locations throughout Invercargill and Bluff during the coming weeks.
It's a good opportunity for people who want to just do more than fill in the survey but actually want to have a discussion about it or potentially learn a little bit about it. Our panel has learnt a lot of information about rehoming and euthanasia during this process, and they're more than happy to have discussions with people around that.
More information can be found at icc.govt.nz, with hard copy surveys available at the Council, the Invercargill City Library and the Bluff Service Centre. The survey will be open until the 31st of January. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, we have details of a dating website with a difference launched in Dunedin, and temperatures soar into the 30s again tomorrow in some Otago towns. Details on the way, and our look at southern weather.
Here is this week's Mole Map UV report. Did you know New Zealanders have the highest incidence rate of melanoma in the world?
If you've ever been on a sunbed or been badly sunburnt, what are the chances you could have melanoma? Remove the doubt. Get a mole map.
season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, I'm Dennis Charlotte, and road racing motorcycles is my lifetime passion. It's a massive adrenaline rush, but the high-speed crashes have been tough on the body over the years. I almost felt as old as my mate Ian.
Sportsval, supporting tendons, ligaments and cartilage. And Energy Plus helps replace the energy that everyday living takes away.
Now I feel more alive and have more sustained energy to really enjoy my racing.
Buy 2 packs of Sportsval and get 2 packs of Energy Plus absolutely free. So call now, 0800 502 402.
At the Hard to Find Bookshop, we sell quality books on all subjects from the rare to the recent. And where viable, we will come to you. We have a great reputation for integrity and honesty, so if you're downsizing or sorting an estate and have books to sell, contact us.
135 Cumberland Street is a brand new, recently listed Category 1 heritage building right in Dunedin's warehouse precinct. Only a short walk to the Octagon in the central city. These are warm, well-insulated, self-contained apartments with all you need for a short or long stay. With beautiful views onto the harbour, these Airbnbs at 135 Cumberland Street come highly recommended for your stay in Dunedin.
Helping New Zealanders to do more. Talk to MTF today.
While you're relaxing this holiday season, Ready Lawn is available to help you with your lawn needs, big or small. We work so you don't have to. Call Ready Lawn today.
Welcome back. The town of Temuka, just north of Timaru, has been seeing the local sales yards booming with special auctions of calves this summer. Alexia Johnston has more.
Calves are proving to be big business at the Temuka sale yards. The yards hosted a special calf sale last week, the third of its kind since December, with the latest event attracting 3,400 calves for auction. The number of 4-day-old calves auctioned off in August last year was 4 times what the sale yards team had expected to sell. The closure of the Tynwald sale yards near Ashburton just over a year ago had also played some part in the upward trend. The Temuka sale yards are now one of the main auction centres in the South Island, which attracts buyers from far and wide across North Otago and Canterbury. Alexia Johnston for South Today.
New Zealand's first dating website specifically for disabled people launched last night. Enabling Love hopes to introduce disabled people into the world of mainstream dating. Roselle LeBone has more.
Enabling Love launched at Dunedin's Innovate HQ last night to fanfare, food and a whole lot of music and dancing.
We do the walk of life, Lord, we do the walk of life.
The dating website is the first of its kind in New Zealand and aims to provide a safe environment for individuals with disabilities to meet new friends and form new relationships.
I believe that I can do well, regardless of my disability. I can do anything I set my mind to doing.
Anyone from 18 to 45 years old who is disabled or who is open to dating someone with a disability can sign up for the service, which not only offers online dating but also speed dating, individual matchmaking, cruise tours and cocktail parties. Visit enablingLove.co.nz for more. Roselle LeBone, The South Today.
Now recapping tonight's top stories on The South Today. The Dunedin Law Courts reopened today after a $20 million refurbishment. However, as Roselle LeBone found out, it's not quite finished yet. Dairy New Zealand and the Southland Rural Support are calling for farmers to reach out for help as tough conditions persist in Southland. And there's hope New Zealand's endangered native bird, the kakapo, could return to its original breeding sites on Cooper Island in Fiordland's Dusky Sound. And now we'll look at what's happening in tomorrow's Otago Daily Times. Phil Somerville, hello.
Yes, hi Callum. Well, the big thing tomorrow is the opening
Well, the big thing tomorrow in tomorrow's paper is, of course, the courthouse. It's great for Dunedin. At one stage it looked like it was going to be empty, and once a building like this is empty, who knows what happens to it. Here's the big historic photo matching the one when it opened, except a much bigger crowd. Apparently people heard it was on and the bigwigs gathered. So plenty on that, including an editorial. Tomorrow's Mixed Day. Tom McKinley, the features editor, has interviewed Robbie Williams, very interesting story, and there's another feature also on Roger Waters, who of course is up next Tuesday at the stadium. Other items, there's the personality quiz, is something, a little amusing thing I often read in the mix. Does absence make the heart grow fonder? And look at that. The parenting column we sometimes overlook as well. It's about boys' humour. So, and the fashion section is summer dresses. So all sorts of stuff in the mix and throughout the big Saturday paper.
Yeah, plenty of variety there. Thanks, Phil. All right, it's tomorrow's ODT. Time now for a look at the weekend's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Collagen Plus.
And the situation sees more days of mostly fine weather ahead with warm temperatures and just light winds. Some hot days early next week, but rain on the way later in the week. To the southern outlook now, and a fine day all round for these towns. Lumsden, the warmest, getting to 26. Balclutha and Gore share 25. The Catlins just light winds and 24. To the central outlook, Alexandra baking in 31 degrees tomorrow. Wanaka gets to 30. Queenstown fine and 28. And Tiano light winds fine 22. The northern towns, Omarama and Twizel, both get to 30. Oamaru has a moderate nor'easter and 21, and Timaru slightly cooler on the coast with fine weather and 21 degrees. To Dunedin, and tonight cloudy with a light northerly, the low is 14. Tomorrow fine, sunny periods, some cloud and warm with the nor'easterly, 24 the high, the low 15, and the same for Sunday, the high 22. In Invercargill, tonight some cloud, there's a risk of brief showers overnight, southwesterlies, a low 11, but tomorrow fine, sunny, areas of mist or low cloud at night, 23 the high, 13 the low. Sunday, another good day, fine weather, 24 the high and 13 the low. And that's the South Today. For the latest news from around the southern region, follow us on Facebook and also at channel39.co.nz. We leave you now with a look back on the week that was. And from all the team here, have a great weekend.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.